The definition of a holistic view is that all aspects of people's needs, psychological, physical, and social, should be taken into account and seen as a whole. Holistic relationships is leading the charge and sparking real conversations that transcend the ordinary, aiming not only to explore life's intricate facets, but also to inspire positive change and cultivate better approaches to every topic we touch. In the realm of love and relationships, marriage and divorce, parenting struggles and single parenting triumphs, toxic relationships, and the liberating journey out of codependence, our goal is crystal clear. We are architects of change, crafting blueprints for better, more holistic relationships that stand the test of time. This isn't just a show or podcast. It is a movement. Each show is an invitation to recalibrate one's perspective, to rethink conventional norms, and to embark on a journey towards a more fulfilling life. From the nuanced dance of co-parenting to the empowering pursuit of self-confidence, we are here to guide you towards positive transformation, empowerment of self and others, setting goals, building legacies, and collecting fortune with purpose. Holistic relationships is more than a show, it's a philosophy. We navigate the complex terrain of aging gracefully and achieving optimal health and weight loss, shedding light on compatibility in relationships, and imparting wisdom on the art of dating and courtship. Join us as we forge a community committed to positive change, where every conversation is a catalyst for growth, every revelation is a step towards understanding, and every piece of advice is a key to unlocking a more holistic and fulfilling life. Welcome to Holistic Relationships, where the pursuit of better, more meaningful connections begin, and positive change is not just encouraged, but celebrated. Hello, everybody. Hello. And I would say welcome back, but it's more welcome back for me on a live holistic relationship. And today, of course, it's going to be a little bit different. We'll be back next week to get into those hot topics for holistic relationships, because remember, this isn't just about your relationships romantically, but your relationships as it pertains to your careers, your families, children, your relationships to life, right? And all aspects of it. But we're talking business. We're talking Start Smart. And my launch, I launched it last month, the beginning of April. Start Smart, your business blueprint. I'm gonna see if I can get another view here to kind of get out the way a little bit. No, that just made me bigger. Okay, that may be really small. But anyway, that's my new book. It's available on Amazon, and it is available for you all to get information for it from my website, from my newly formed company, BlueStone Capital Group. It's been in operation for the last few months, maybe half a year or so. And on that site, I have a free business diagnostic tool that everyone can just go and just complete, and we can have conversations about it. But tonight, and this is the reason why Holistic Relationships started a little bit later than I normally do, I was actually on the interview for the Chicago Millionaires Club Radio. So I finished up that interview. They streamed it to their Facebook and their YouTube, I believe. And what I'm going to do is I am going to replay that for you tonight. It just happened, and I couldn't get my streaming to sync with theirs so it could be happening real time, but that's okay. That is okay. I would like to see it anyway. So I'm going to watch it with you. So I'm going to share my screen over here to where this link is. Just a second. Share screen. Okay, so you should be able, oh, not yet. Yeah, I have to actually activate this. Add it to the stage. I'm going to go away for a little bit live, but you get to see me from over here. So let's do this. Add to the stage.
Welcome to my evening edition of the Chicago Millionaire Radio Show. I'm your host, Robert Bobby Rigg, and I got a special guest joining me tonight, Dr. Griggs. Man, she got a new book out. We're going to be chopping it up about her new book. But I wanted to kind of get on and warm it up a little bit before she got on and just kind of get y'all to come on in before we even get going, man. So, yeah, I've had her on before. And she was doing a hair product, and she was kind of helping people learn how to grow their hair because she had went through a situation where I think she was losing her hair to some degree. My memory is a little vague here, but I think I got a partner on the line. Bree, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good evening, sir.
How you doing, Bree? I got Bree. She's behind the scenes, and she's always kind of quarterbacking a lot of the stuff that's going on with Dr. Griggs. And can you refresh our memory a little bit about the hair care product? What was that she had?
So last time you talked to Dr. Griggs, she was doing the type 4 hair experience. So if you are into locks, you have just your natural hair. So since she is a licensed pharmacist, she has her own hair care line. So it kind of helps you, to kind of grow your hair, keep your hair moisturized so you don't fall out, all that good stuff. So that was the hair care side.
That's good, man. I tell you. It is our lack of information that hurts us.
Say that
you got somebody that's giving you some pertinent information, it's always good to try to take it in if you can.
Yes. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, I know. One thing about us, thank you. You're welcome. Always a pleasure. I know sometimes, like everybody outside, so people catch these telecasts, these broadcasts later. They might catch it live. But nevertheless, they always seem to catch it because when I look at the numbers be decent. I mean, you get 700-800 people to click on it, 800,000, 1,400, 1,500, and you ain't really like pushing it extra hard. I think that's a good night. So yeah, so now that I got that up, let me make it public. So you say y'all gonna be outside this summer doing a lot of things. I had a couple of people reach out to me, and doing all this time with this graduation time, I just haven't had a chance to really get with them. I just saw she just asked me to join.
Okay. Perfect.
What is she doing? Participants. Okay, that should Look at what a smile on Dr. Griggs, man. It's a smile, man. Worth $1 million. $1 million smile.
There we go.
Hi, good evening, everybody.
Here she is.
What's going on, Dr. Griggs? Are you there?
Just a few technical things here. I'm almost together. I was ready like 2 hours ago, and I'm like, no, I know you lying. We doing this tonight. We are doing this tonight. Okay, give me a second here.
Okay, man,
I wanted to, okay, I don't know. Okay, here we go.
Here
we are.
Okay, there we go. Okay. There we go. What's up, Dr. Griggs? How you doing?
I am here. We in the building.
I'm so blessed, man, to be in a room with a doctor, man. It's close to med school as I'm gonna get to. So, how you doing today?
I am good. I am good. I wanted to ask if what stations are you in? I want to be able to live stream this to platforms if that's okay.
Yeah, it's just live from my page, and then it's on live on the Chicago Millionaire Radio page,
Thank you.
and then it's on the culture page, and it's on Black Business page. So it's on quite a few. And let me tag you in real quick. Let me see if I can tag you in real quick.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Tag you.
Robert, if you could, can you tag us both? That way we both can drop it in our network.
Okay, what's your Facebook page? Give me your Facebook page.
You can drop
What's your Facebook page?
Go ahead, Dr. Griggs. You can do yours first.
Dr. Shanté RX. Yep, that's me.
That's you right there. I think there you go right there. I don't look like you in free. What's yours?
That's at BUNEK Designs.
Oh yeah. Okay, so it said that I tagged y'all. Okay. All right, y'all just hang on to the people that's kind of just coming in with us. And I want to make sure I share it to all my podcast rooms. It's like 50 of them as we get going. All right. So, Dr. Griggs, what's going on? How you doing? How's business?
Business is good. It's busy. As I'm always trying to clear off the plate, but somehow every time I move something, I add something back in. I don't know what that is. I don't know why I'm doing that subconsciously. I don't know.
You being fruitful. And that's what life is all about, being fruitful.
Yeah.
So you're a repeat offender. And last time you came on, we was talking about you were helping people grow their hair. And I see your hair looks fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Like
thank
people,
you.
they need
straight.
to know.
Yeah, it was big and with the afro thing. Yeah,
right.
High core experience. Yes.
So how's that been going for you?
It's been going good. It's been going good. And since the next book, the latest book that I've launched, it's giving me ideas to go back and do with the type 4 that I didn't know or that I didn't think to do. Now that I've, done a few more events, I've networked with other authors, and I've gotten great ideas. And so I can hit the ground running now.
So I'm telling you, man, once you start, it's just hard to stop. Like once you start going and building on stuff, it's kind of like it's an obsession. And which leads me to our next conversation. What brings us here tonight? Hold on. So you got a new book.
Yes.
And you seem to be delving into the business world. You want to talk about that new book you got?
Absolutely.
Okay, there you go. I want you to be on the full screen when you talk. Okay, go ahead.
Start Smart. That is my newest book. Your Business Blueprint. Started off as a course. The inspiration was as a course. And then I decided, no, I need to put this inside of a book. Start Smart wasn't just something that I wrote. I lived it. And when I became the CEO and president of a 100-year-old institution, I inherited a mess. And I thought I'd have all this overwhelming support. It sort of didn't work out that way. And then I had to learn real quick that I wasn't going to be rescued, and that real business, it doesn't care about you have good intentions. No. It cares about structure. It cares about compliance, cares about being ready. That's and right. That is where the blueprint came from.
Okay. So Start Smart came from your early start in business, going through the trenches, starting out, learning the rigmarole of all the business, and then you wrote a book.
Yes.
What inspired it though? I mean, the most is was it the fact that you ran into a lot of obstacles early on?
I did. 8 months into my administration, the world was hit by COVID. That just added insult to injury because I was in an institution that already was declining. It had already been declining. And here I am coming in. I knew full on what I was taking on when I stepped in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I expected so much more support. And I didn't realize that I faced a little bit of resistance from within the profession and from those who didn't want to necessarily change or didn't want to be led by a woman, especially not a Black woman, in a male-dominated space. So I had to make decisions with real legal, financial, and operational consequences. And there was no family playbook. You know, I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs. No mentors spoon feed me any type of information. I made mistakes. You know, I had to report back to my board when something didn't go quite right. It was embarrassing. And through it all, I just started documenting what I was learning as I was going, the things that no one told me. And then one day, like I said, while I was preparing a class on how to run a business with structure and integrity, I stopped mid PowerPoint. And I realized, you know what, this isn't just a class. It needs to be a book. So that's how Start Smart was born. Out of the mess I inherited, the order I had to create, and the system that I built to survive it.
And what is the order to starting smart? Can you share that? I mean, I know we want people to get the book. We want people to be able to go get the book. Just a little bit, just starting smart. What is a business entrepreneur to do? What should you do?
Well, so Start Smart is for real entrepreneurs. This isn't textbook, you know, this is like on the job training because this is where it was coming from. So especially if a person, they want structure, ultimately want to get their business funded, and then they want to sustain through it all. So we're not just talking about logos and slogans, okay? You know, so it walks you through setting up your business, well, the business entity, the right way, staying compliant and getting your finances in order, you know, helping people, entrepreneurs build credibility, and that, you know, basically positioning them for funding.
Right.
Yeah. Now the book, and then I want to be a little clear about that. I touch on those things within the book, but it is the live coaching and the other services that I provide, you know, through the real arm, or I would say the more social arm, BlueStone Capital Group. And that is where a person can come to, you know, that's where the blueprint comes to life there. So that's the consulting firm now. And, you know, I created that to support them because they always had more questions. So even if I gave them things, there was always more questions. So I created it to support those entrepreneurs who needed more than the information they need. They needed real support. So BlueStone Capital Group, we provide business diagnostics, entity structuring, fund, you know, like getting them ready for funding, bookkeeping, strategic oversight over projects, even I have some clients that have real estate projects, and I'm over, there's oversight with, they're pretty much, you know, just coaching them on what to look out for, how to stay compliant, depending on what their entity is, how they're structured. Are you a nonprofit or you're for-profit? How are you structured and what are the rules of engagement there?
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, I had it all trial and error. Trial and error. I've been an entrepreneur since 2011. And when I tell my story in the book, you know, first it just went with just getting a corporation and just wanted to be my own boss. And what I walk people through, the mindset chapter, getting your mind ready for business. It's not for the weak. You know,
the big no is what? How do you respond to no, right? In business, because you hear it a lot.
Well, and not so much as that is, you know, not starting your business, or, you know, you could start it on a shoestring budget. It's about capital with a capital C. It's about the money. How do you get enough money to fund your business, your dream, your vision? How do you do that? You could start off, but if it's hand to mouth, it's not gonna work out. Not if it's hand to mouth.
What are some of the biggest problems you see people face when they start a business? Is it the fact that they just never get started, or they try to wait for the perfect time? What do you see biggest problem people face starting out?
You know what? In a chapter that I call the annual checkup, chapter 4, right? The annual checkup. It's the compliance part. People, they let their entities fall out of good standing because they didn't file their annual report, right? They didn't do quarterly taxes. If they're, depending on their structure, of course, it's not everybody is a 501c3. The institution that I was running is a 501c3. And it's really strict. And this isn't to say that LLCs or corporations couldn't still have those strict guidelines, but we know that 501c3 entities are highly regulated. And the ones underneath it, they may have a little bit more relaxation on the rules there, but that is what I find. I've had clients where I helped them to reinstate their LLCs or their corporations. I had a client once who let it lapse for 15 years, but still operating the business account and everything. I'm like, well, you can't, you're gonna need a certificate to get like, if you want to do any business, you have to, so those are but they're so minor because you're so busy. You're in the minutia of your business, working the business, that those little details, filling out that little paperwork, it slips through the cracks easy.
Every time.
Easy.
Every time. What about the LLC? People always talk about get an LLC, start an LLC. Like, what protection does that? I know it's limited liability, but what guarantees? I mean, is that like a new credit? Like, because I don't have an LLC. I would first say I don't have one. And go ahead.
That was the newest on the list of things that I was helping people with within the last year or so, and it. Of course, limited liability as it applies, and you could set it up as a sole proprietor. You can set it up as a corporation if you like. How it's going to be taxed. I recommend the corporation because you want to separate those business assets from personal. But I remember when I was starting out, I couldn't go the route of LLC because mine were medical practices. There is no such thing as limited liability. In medicine. So there's no such thing. So I didn't have that luxury. I didn't have that luxury. But there's certainly some benefit to it, to having that LLC. Again, freedom. So there is a little bit. And I go over those structures, the formation chapter 1 in the book, where we talk about that. What are you trying to do in business? So what I do with a person or a potential client, like, hey, what is it that you're trying to do? If you can answer certain questions, and at the website, BlueStone Capital Group's website, I have a free business diagnostic. They can click the link and they answer the questions. We follow up with them. And, typically this is probably for pre-existing business owners. Maybe they're in business on paper, but not in actuality. They don't have brick and mortar. They're not, they don't have any receipts. They don't have any deposits. They don't have anything going on through a business account. Maybe they're still operating out of their personal account. I can't tell you how many times I've done business and I say, what's your Zelle tag? And then they give me their phone number, and that phone number is attached to them, their name, not their business name, their personal name. So I'm paying you for a service you just provided to me, and it just went to your personal account. That's a big no-no, because when you're trying to go get funding and you're trying to separate that out of that, lenders like to know that you have a business account, so that you structure yourself properly to walk into a bank and get a business account and uphold and keep that business account, because it does cost to keep it. Even if you're a nonprofit, you still got to pay for that monthly fee for that business account.
That's right.
Yeah.
Are we as African Americans falling behind on it? Are we catching up? Where are we?
I don't think we're falling behind. I think it's more catching up.
We catching up, right? Especially more Black. I see more Black thriving. And what is the big glow with Black women that's taking on this new business avenue of doing these things big and doing their own things? Because I really respect it and I admire it and I love it. Is it the fact that they've been held back so long and we've seen the growth and prosperity of what?
I don't know.
That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
I don't know. I know for me, and just like I talk about again when I tell my story about wanting to be your own boss, wanting your own hours, for me, it was about being able to still be with my family,
Uh-huh.
to not always be at work. And when I first got out of school, I worked at the Walgreens Corporation, and I worked as a pharmacist in the pharmacy, at the drive-through. Can I help you? Like, I did that. And those are 8-hour shifts. They can be anywhere, but the shifts we had when I was there, it was like 8 to 4, 2 to 10, 3 to 11, that graveyard shift overnight. You're working full time. It was the time. I didn't have my time.
Yeah,
and
that 8 hours is tough.
Yeah. So I didn't have my time, and I wanted my time. And I wanted that whenever I had children, I always thought I wanted to be able to raise my child. I wanted to be able to be there with them, take them to school, pick them up. Kind of hard to do that, and I certainly empathize and sympathize with, the parents that wish they could do that, but that just isn't the way it is. And that is a reason too that a person can decide to go into business for themselves.
Right. What you think about teaching this in school? Do you think kids need to learn this stuff early? Start smart?
Absolutely.
I think we missed that.
My son is in 3rd grade, and I'm already introducing that to him. Yes, absolutely. And there is a youth development organization that has invited me, and I'm going to create a version of it for those grade school level students and high school, as a matter of fact.
I think this needs to be implemented to us. We need to be taught this stuff early. Yes. Because we just don't get that. It just seems like our educational system seems to be gray and white every time. It's the same thing over and over again. So yeah, starting smart in business is key. So what's next for Doc, man? I mean, you're building on this. What do you expect this book to do? What do you see this book going?
Oh, wow. I see this book is going to be in institutions, schools, it's a guidebook, for people to go through. And it's an online course. Because remember, I was working on the course before I had to pump the brakes, get the book out, get the material out. And so I'm still actually finishing up the last parts of the course. There's a workbook companion and an online course that goes with it. And so a person, so I created the book and the workbook companion for that DIY ambitious persons that just want to do it, do it themselves. The course, online digital course is available, will be available soon, June launching, for that person that gets that, but also says, what, I need a little bit more. So we have 13 modules. Even if a person completed 1 module per day, it's still going to take them nearly 2 weeks to complete this course. On their own. And that's if they did that. That's if. And then for the person that really wants more in-depth, personal, one-on-one, then I have my business coaching packages.
So they can get some one-on-one from you.
Where there's training, brainstorming, we go through everything.
That's
so
huge.
for what I meet people wherever they are.
And this started when you started this?
I launched it last month, April 1st.
I like that.
Yep.
I can see momentum with this. I really can. I can see momentum, man, because it's just something that hasn't been done. And, nobody knows where to start. Everybody's like, start your business. Okay, I want to start a business, but how? How do I start?
With BlueStone Capital Group.
BlueStone Capital Group.
Start with Dr. Shanté. I'm an educator now. So this course, of course, will be available through the university's learning management system, and then it will be also available for people for purchase from the BlueStone Capital Group's website. So I even have affiliate programs that we're going to be launched, distribution agreements, everything. Anybody that wants to be a part of this, they can. And I see that you have a flyer behind you, our Power Breakfast flyers. We launched that last month too in April. We just had, we have one coming up on the 18th. And then next month, June. So the idea is that it's every 3rd Sunday from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Some food, and then it's it's evolving into a workshop.
Where's this?
This is at Josephine's Restaurant on 79th Street. It used to be called Captain Hard Times. So
right over there, Cottage Grove. Is that
right in between King Drive and
Captain Hard Time.
Yes, yes, over there with Mama Wade. Yes,
and I like that area. they've really developed over there and really kind of like reculturalized that. That's Chatham, right? That's still Chatham over there.
It's Chatham. It is.
So that's every third Sunday.
Every third Sunday. So we're going, we're going to be coming up this Sunday, May 18th. And the only reason why we kind of moved around because we gave Mother's Day its flowers. So we had an event there just last Sunday for Mother's Day, and we'll be back there this Sunday. So we're talking about home ownership, small business development, real estate investment, right? So there are 3 different lineups. Of course, I'm part of the small business development sector because of Start Smart, BlueStone Capital Group, that part. But we kind of feel, I would say we kind of flood into the other areas as well, because even with the a colleague of mine that does the real estate investment portion, he has a course called Flip That Hood. Even before they really can get started with him, they have to go through my steps, because if they go through my steps, then that's a fast track to getting them funded, the funding that they need, the creative financing that they're going to need for these business deals that they're able to get wholesale a lot of times, and they can either keep them to rent out or flip them. But the idea is to buy up the properties in our neighborhoods, rebuild them, keep them with us.
Right.
So that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. We need that. That's how it used to be.
But it also starts with credit repair.
That's right. You do credit repair too?
I do not do credit repair. I wouldn't even want, even if I knew how, I wouldn't want to, because I help manage, we provide the service. So I connect people to the credit consultation, like the people who help with that. I connect people to that. Right. And oftentimes I'm constantly stepping in the middle, like they're like children, like stepping in for people for their own credit repair, because you have to participate in your own rescue. That's and sometimes with credit, and as I told my story in the book, here I am, double doctorate, starting an institution, walking into a century-old institution that was ran like a mom and pop organization, didn't have any business credit of its own. And here I come, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed up in there with a 500 score and wasn't able to do nothing. So trust me when I tell you, like, please stop and look at it. Sometimes we want to put our head in the sand. We're like, I don't want to look at it. No. You have to look at that credit score, because that is the first step to fixing it. And you got to believe in it. I remember I just didn't believe in credit repair. That belief system is so real. None of those inquiries would come off. Stuff wouldn't happen. It moved so slowly. I spent 2 years trying to do it, but I did it in a place and a mindset from disbelief that it wouldn't even happen in the first place. But when I got determined, I said, you know what, bump this. I'm getting this done. It's time. I can't be here. I got a child to raise. I can't be here because it's expensive to have bad credit.
It really is. Everything costs. You got
have higher interest rates on things. You're more of a risk. They're going to turn you down. You can't buy a break with bad credit. Like I remember having subpar credit scores, and I was making 6 figures, and I thought, oh, well, I got the money. I got money.
Still couldn't do nothing. You can do a lot, but it's going to cost you more to do it.
But it's like the red carpet is rolled out when you got a 750 credit score. You knock it on it. They don't even want you to verify anything. They're like, come on, yeah, sure, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that paperwork, those bank statements. We don't need. They put that back. Serious.
Right.
So my credit went up when I'm telling you, and I just clicked the button. They giving away money.
I know, man. Mine's. Hey, they be constantly sending you stuff to here, try this. Here, you want this? And you got to be conscious now because everything ain't good, right?
So this has been fun. It's really been. I didn't think when I was here with you last year. Oh, I did not know that this will be here this year.
Right back.
Start Smart. And what I'm doing now, I've just recently been brought on as a board member to a Black-owned credit union, Southside Community Federal Credit Union. And so that I feel is going to be, now let's get you guys and, get people into the financial literacy part of the conversation. Let's get you some accounts, personal accounts, savings, checking, business. Let's start for the kids, them too. So we'll be
We
doing
gotta
some
start 'em
things.
young too.
Yes.
I think everything that
I
you're
had a
talking
savings
about.
account when I was 16. My dad, he was in the Navy. So I had Navy Federal Credit Union. I had a savings account at 16,
Hmm.
and I still have that account.
Wow.
I still have it. I just never let it go. And then, like a little after COVID in 2021, my dad passed. He
Wow.
died in the middle of building all of that. And I talk about that too in the book, that business isn't going to pause because you're in pain, because you're grieving. You still got responsibilities. You still got to do stuff. You got to still get up, get out there, and be that boss that you said you wanted to be. And so, yeah, I keep it now because it's sentimental. So I just didn't close. I just kept it. It was my
That's
very
good,
first
though.
account. And because my dad.
That's good. Pops laid the foundation. He gave you parents are important. They give the kids the direction they need to go in. What else would you have in for us, man? What would we need to do right now? I'm a young guy. I got $50,000. My credit sucks. And I'll let you go after this. My credit sucks, but I want to start a business. I want to start, let's just say, driving limousines. I want to get my limousine business. And I got $50,000. My credit's not that good. What should I do?
I would say that you invest that first $1,000 of that dream in fixing said credit.
Just 1,000.
Yeah, $1,000. Yeah, that's the investment you're making. And then you start by fixing the credit. Once that process begins, then now we start having conversations about the business. Now we got to do some talking. There's some, what's your mission?
Is there a consultation fee? What's the consultation fee?
Well, people take the business diagnostic and they are able to answer a lot of questions from there. And then we talk, but the business formation service, that is an actual service where we actually form the LLC. I help to do all of that, get you set up and ready. And then we're walking you through that. Now that's a flat rate of $600.
Okay.
But we have build on services. Like if you need websites, I help you with that. If you need business phone, business email, everything, because we're not just trying to help you dream. We're trying to help you get capitalized. And to get to funding, there are certain steps that you have to take. And then now getting you business credit where you're getting credit off of your EIN and not your social security number. And a lot of times people think that because the bank put your business name on that card, that's now you having business credit. And I always ask, did you provide your social with that application? And they'll be like, yeah. Okay. So you're the personal guarantor, and that is not on your business. And when you build business credit, you have to be intentional about it. It's like a video game. You got to level up. You cannot get to that next level until you pass that level.
That's right.
So you gotta do it in steps, and they do it that way for a reason. And that is why a lot of us have been left out of that conversation and think that we got one thing. And sometimes you'll have vendor accounts from places, and you're thinking that no, they don't report to you. You have to pay for them to report to the credit business bureaus. So that's a process. It doesn't happen automatic like with your personal social. 30 days that's going to be up there. Without you needing to think about it, is going to be there. But yeah. So this is a learning curve. Starting a business, and I say either start smart or restart right, because sometimes people already got those things. They may have their EIN, they may have their corporation, they may have a certificate of good standing, but then they're missing other compliance documents. Do you have an operating agreement if you have an LLC? Do you have bylaws? Like if you have a nonprofit, like do you have these other things? How are you going to present when it's time to come to an investor or a funder or a bank?
That's how the bank is going to look at us like, I don't know if this file is right, sir.
They're just going to smile and you'll be declined. And we regret to inform you, you know, we regret to inform you that your application for funding has been denied. You know, I mean,
God, I only did that because I was black. No, dog. You got to make sure that paperwork is lined up.
Right. You have to do it right. And they yeah, you got to do it right.
You got to make sure you got that paperwork lined up.
Yeah.
Dr. Griggs, I think we should do this like twice a month, something like this. If you have the availability to come on and talk finances and talk, I think we should do at least maybe twice a month, once every other week if you have the availability.
There are 11 chapters. Okay, there is a lot to talk about. This
well,
book
if you have the availability, I would
pages.
love to be able to do that if you have the time.
And I'd like to invite you to our power breakfasts to speak, you know, or to, you know, as well, you know, hey, bring
Absolutely.
everybody.
I would love to pull up, man. That's my whole community. I love the South Side.
Yeah.
And I've eaten at Captain Hard Times. I've been there because like my great auntie, she eats there. She ate there all the way until this closed up. I think she was there for Mother's Day. But yeah. So you probably know her, huh? Do you know any of the elders that be at Captain Hard Times?
No, because I'm fairly new to the place now. I only know of it because of, you know, business associates, but I didn't know it intimately. I really just got introduced to it by way of what we're doing now. And I know it as Josephine's, but when I say Josephine's, people be like, what? And then I go, Captain Hard Times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so yeah. So
that's what's up, man. Is there anything else you want to leave with us, Doc, before we get up out of here?
Oh man, just make sure to take that business diagnostic. It's gold. You know, it's going to have you thinking as well, and it's free.
I'm ready to get it done, and I want to come back. Me and Doc, we're gonna plan on doing this, man, every other week. Some kind of just a small. If we give y'all the small tidbits to help build a community, man, that's what we want to do. We want to try to help the next person.
People want to, you know, they want to start their businesses. They want to get into some type of investment, and you can help them either way. Like there's a lane for everyone. Home ownership. We really want to get more homeowners too, because they are so essential to rebuilding that community. You know, and so with the colleague of mine that has that course, Flip That Hood, put the neighbor back in the hood. And so that is the reason for that. You know, people, they keep leaving the areas because they're running away from the pain. They're running away from, instead of staying there where all the foreigners and everybody else, they looking at it like prime real estate.
It's definitely prime real estate. It's definitely prime real estate.
Like, wait a minute. We could get some of that too and keeping our families. And so,
yeah, man, our communities are jewels, man. Those houses, those brick bungalows, those nice places on the South Side, all those places are very nice. But we had Dr. Griggs in here tonight, man. She dropped the jewels in here tonight, but we're going to do it again. I'm looking forward to talking to her in another week and a half, man, so we can keep this conversation going. And make sure y'all get the book, and we're going to circle back on Dr. Griggs. I want to thank you for joining me tonight. Chicago Millionaire Radio Show. I'm Robert Bobby Reed. May God continue to bless you. We up out of here. Peace. You know how your thing start loading up and they want to do its own thing. All right, we out there for real this time.
All right, everybody. So that was really nice. I enjoyed watching myself on this interview, and I got to do a little bit more of those. Holistic Relationships will be back next week, Wednesday at 7. Hope to see everybody there. We're going to get back to those real topics, those grown-up topics that we need to talk about. And so thank you guys again that support the community. Come on in, join in. Send topics. All right. Check me out, drshanterx.com. BlueStone Capital Group is bluestonecg.org. And before I go, let me just put that in the chat for you. I didn't do that. See, I've been gone so long. I usually have that stuff in already to send to people. Oh, she been slipping. Okay, let me put this up on the screen for y'all. I'll put this on the screen so you can see the website, bluestonecg.org. And that's where that free business diagnostic will be here. Will you be able to take that too? All right, good people. I'll see you next time.